Wanna know a secret? Nap time is not just for babies. It's also for moms. Now, I know it sounds insane. Why would someone need a nap who isn't even 2 feet tall, right? But here's the deal. We humans, we are like rechargeable batteries. We need to get our juice back, especially after a night of, well, this. Being a mom is awesome, sure, but it's also exhausting. You know how sometimes, when you're having fun, you suddenly crash and fall asleep? Today's story is about Max, a regular baby who did something totally crazy. He took a dump on my brand new rug, and my wife went ballistic. She said it was disgusting and ruined. She picked up Max, gave him a stern talking to, and marched into the bathroom. And that's when I decided to take action. Let me introduce myself. I'm the dad. I'm a husband and father of 3 wonderful kids, ages 9, 7, and 3. We live in a beautiful house with a white rug and an abundance of cleaning supplies. And if you're wondering why I don't have any gray hair, it's because I did something about it. Now you might think I'm nuts, but I've always been a bit unorthodox, especially when it comes to kids. They say it takes a village to raise them. But why wait until they're in trouble? When my son was born, I knew I needed a special gift, something that would bring us closer together. Something like a personal security camera system for my phone. Pan, tilt, and zoom in case you missed anything. Night vision for those midnight feedings. And motion alerts so I wouldn't miss a single diaper change. Plus, I could check in anytime from anywhere. Remember that time I forgot how many diapers we had left? Yeah, let's just say it was close. Thanks to Hubble, I never miss a thing. Now let me show you what happened after my wife walked into the bathroom. The first rule of my parenting style: stay calm. Losing your cool won't solve anything. In fact, it'll make things worse. But before I could get to the whiteboard, my wife came out of the bathroom looking like she was about to blow. I stopped her with a raised hand and a simple, "Honey, let's talk about this." She sighed, realizing she was about to blow. I opened the app on my phone, zooming in on the nursery. "Look at this," I said, pointing at the screen. My wife looked at the monitor, then back at me, then burst out laughing. "Oh, man, you're right," she said, shaking her head. I gotta admit, he's got some serious comedic timing. On the monitor, Max was making funny faces and noises while holding a piece of my wife's hair. I guess he took a dump on the rug to get her attention. Mission accomplished. The second rule of my parenting style: take a step back. Don't take anything personally. Kids will push your buttons, so don't stress the small stuff. Stay relaxed and focused. When you become part of the problem, you can't be part of the solution. Rule number 3, follow the science. We're not winging it around here. Everything we do is based on child development research and expert advice. For example, we always respond to our kids when they cry. Crying is a baby's only way of communicating, and it's important to respond promptly. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, responding to crying helps babies develop a sense of trust and security. So it's important to feed them when they're hungry and stop when they're full. This helps build a strong bond between us and lets the baby focus on feeding. And speaking of feeding, I remember when my daughter refused to eat. Don't be afraid to ask for help or advice. Sometimes an outside perspective can be invaluable. After consulting with my pediatrician, I discovered that my daughter was going through a picky eating phase, which is common in toddlers. The pediatrician gave me some tips on how to handle it and suggested that I try offering her different foods and letting her choose what she wanted to eat. Thanks to her guidance, we were able to navigate that rough patch, and my daughter eventually started eating normally again. The fifth rule of my parenting style: go with the flow. Things won't always go as planned, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to roll with the punches. Like the time my wife and I decided to take all 3 kids to the zoo. We thought we'd be prepared for anything, but nothing could have prepared us for the chaos that ensued. From spilled drinks to meltdowns, it was a wild ride. But instead of stressing, we decided to go with the flow. We bought more drinks, gave the kids snacks, and reminded them to use kind words. And you know what? We had a great time. We laughed, we bonded, and we made memories that will last a lifetime. Rule number 6: keep learning. Parenting is a journey, and there's no such thing as knowing it all. There are always new things to learn and new challenges to overcome. So don't be afraid to keep learning and growing as a parent. We attend workshops, read books, and talk to other parents to learn new tips and strategies. Recently, we learned about positive discipline. It's basically about teaching kids self-discipline instead of relying on punishment or rewards. We've been trying it out, and it's been amazing. Our kids are more independent, responsible, and respectful. It's win-win. Rule number 7: take care of yourself. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to take care of yourself. When you're feeling your best, you can be the best parent you can be. I prioritize my physical and mental health. I hit the gym regularly, eat healthy, and get enough sleep. And it's making a huge difference. I feel more energized, focused, and patient. And finally, rule number 8: enjoy the journey. It goes by fast. Trust me, before you know it, your kids will be all grown up and off on their own adventures. So make the most of it. Savor the small moments, laugh at the funny ones, and lean on your village for support. Parenting is hard, but it's also the most rewarding job in the world. I know it's not always easy, but don't forget to enjoy the journey. So what do you think? Any tips or tricks of your own? Leave them in the comments below. And hey, if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. Who knows? Maybe we'll feature your comment in a future episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.